Hey everyone, my name is Deadlyslob with TGN. Today we have another Mephisto leveling series. If you haven't already seen the last video, click this annotation on the screen right now. You'll be redirected. I recommend watching almost the entire series before this one, so if you're a new Deadlyslob viewer, make sure you go check out the older stuff because it's actually worth a watch. But if you decide to change your mind through any time in this video, there will be an annotation all the time up there in the top right corner for you to click. So how have you guys been? I know it's been about 6 days since my last video. Just because I've been a little bit sick, but nonetheless, we're going to bring this one out for you guys. Keep in mind, this is 16-day-old footage. That's how far along we are compared to my editing and video style. I'll still be rocking the Midsummer's buff. You can see it in the top right corner if you're watching this in high definition. Or, for the hell of it, I just throw that in there for you guys, me actually obtaining the buff in the Grand. That's a 10% EXP bonus when you're fighting mobs. And that's perfect for anybody who is doing dungeons, but when you're doing questing, not so much. It's not going to make too much of a difference just because you're getting a majority of your EXP from quest turn-ins. So this is going to benefit people who are doing dungeons. Luckily for my sake, we're doing both of them at the same time. We're going to be queued up for dungeons, and we're also doing quests. This is a perfect setup, and I'm going to keep preaching this every single video I create just because of how effective the system is. And I know leveling isn't too difficult at this particular time, but nonetheless, actually doing a leveling series has a high level of commitment, and actually being able to say that I've completed the third one this year is actually outstanding. Keep in mind, I think this may be the last one I do. For the time being, it's really up to you guys. I will do another one if the community wants me to, but if not, I'm going to be doing more hunter PvP and exploring different games, like, you know, Halo. I'm going to be doing a lot more Halo stuff possibly, the Battlefield series, Xbox games. We're going to be doing a lot of different stuff. So right now we're currently doing a bunch of the Archidon instances. In particular, we're in Mana Tombs right now, just doing Nexus Prince Shafar. This is the last boss for this particular spot, but there's also, you know, the crypts. You got Sithic Halls and Shadow Labs. All are part of the Archidon in the Bone Wastes of Terakar, and you'll be doing a couple of those whenever you're leveling up through dungeons. You won't be doing all of them, but you'll probably end up doing at least one of them a few times. And we are back in the Grand, one of my favorite zones. It was actually voted on by the users. I asked them, what 2 zones would you guys want me to go to in Outlands for sure? And the 2 that were most picked was Nagrand and Netherstorm. So you'll be seeing a little bit of Netherstorm as well. And I'm actually glad I went to Netherstorm, but we'll cross that bridge when the time comes. So Gardar, well, Garrosh is magically still chilling in his same old spot that he was in Burning Crusade. You'll also notice that Thrall, you know, stops by time to time with still his War Chief label. And I think it's going to be a little bit confusing for new players actually coming to Nagrand for the first time, especially, you know, people who picked it up just in Cataclysm. Doing the 1 through 60 is very Horde lore content for the majority of the game. It's all about Garrosh Hellscream, you know, what's he doing in Silverpine Forest, you know, calling Sylvanas a bitch, but I find that it's a massive need for an update. And I know Blizzard is really concerned about it, but I think it's time now that if we don't see an update in the 60 to 70 content next expansion, there's going to be something it's just not going to work, because especially people who are interested in the lore, who've read the books, who've started playing this game, will be probably disappointed because it doesn't make sense. It really doesn't. Nagrand is mentioned a lot in the Cataclysm. You know, Thrall goes back, he meets his woman. You could put some quest chains in there. For example, there's Thrall just chilling right there with his old skin and his still War Chief title. And I think they could do stuff like that. They could do, you know, the burial of, what's his name? One of the guys at ICC, whenever he said he was going to do a proper burial in the Grand, they could do a bunch of stuff like that. And I think if they just do a little bit of graphic updates, it would actually make the zone one of the best looking zones in the actual game. It still is to this day one of the best looking continents. However, it does need a little bit of a quality update. Right now we're doing one of the Caverns of Time instances, but we're going to be jumping in and out of that because the healer kept leaving and the queues were really long, so I had to actually leave and because we're doing this all live, and the last thing I want to do is just be sitting around for my live stream waiting for a healer. No, we want some action. We want to be doing some quests. We want to make it as efficient as possible. And if we're not getting a fast group, I'm just going to leave, and I'm not going to feel bad about it because we already had someone drop out. But if it's a bad group, I'll stick with it until we do the final boss, because I'm not going to just abandon a group. Unless we lose a tank or healer. If it's a DPS, we'll just keep going through it, because the DPS doesn't really matter too much. But right now we're just outside of that giant white thing called Oshgun or Ashugun, whatever you want to call it, at the landing as well. These guys are my favorite NPCs in the entire game, and I just learned the other day that you can actually get one of those guys as a companion from the trading card game. I would really like that. So if any of you guys have a code, send it to me. No, there's level 67 Ding. Much like Percunis, I believe we also hit level 67 in this actual quest hub, which is a cool thing, doing, you know, comparing and contrasting the two characters, because one was Alliance, this one is Horde. So a few key differences, but nonetheless I'm seeing a little bit of similarities, and I really don't want that. I want this to be different, and I know the zones like Nagrand, we've done it all before, just a couple months ago in Percunis, so that's why we're in Netherstorm. This is a 100% new zone for the viewers who watch my videos, and it was actually worthwhile to come here. We tamed one of the most, or one of the rarest chimeras in the actual game right now. You know, a pet for a hunter that is actually underlooked. However, it is a very cool pet, very outlandish, and I would have his name off by heart, but I just can't remember. So it was definitely worthwhile from that aspect, and it was actually worth my time as well EXP-wise. The quests were fresh. We had the influx of starter quests, which are really easy and yield high experience, and that's why I like going to new zones, because you're going to have all new quests to do, and whenever you're in a zone for a little bit long, the quests start branching out into these really long, epic quest chains that do take a long time to complete, and less of the, you know, bread and butter kill quests, which yield high experience. Those are the quests that you're going to want to be doing. Just the bread and butter, you know, go kill this, return, get loads of experience for it, because you're also killing mobs, yielding experience, and when you're questing, you just want to look for the most efficient way possible, unless you're in it for the lore. For me, I am in it for, you know, a little bit of both. I really would like a character, you know, turn off my auto quest acceptor, read the quest text, learn the story a little bit. I've been ranting about this for a while, but I think I'm going to do it sometime, maybe on camera, maybe off. We'll have to wait and see. Alright guys, so if you made it this far, you're just amazing, okay? You're an amazing person, and I salute you. You can tell me how amazing you are in the comment section below, but only if you click that like button. So click that like button, and then start writing me a comment. You know, you can tell me the most amazing feat in World of Warcraft, you know, something that sticks in your mind. When you think of WoW, what do you think of? Was it a moment raiding and back in Burning Crusade and Karazhan? Was there a special moment PvPing, you know, killing 5 people at once? Just tell me what was the best experience you had in World of Warcraft, and tell me why you guys are simply amazing. As well, if you haven't already seen on my personal channel, I'm starting a Minecraft multiplayer series with a couple guys named Nemec and Bad Knight. And those guys are pretty awesome guys. We have a lot of fun. It's a really funny spin-off of my single-player Minecraft series. So if you have some time, you know, after this video, go check it out on my personal channel, youtube.com/Deadlyslob, and you'll have a laugh, that's for sure. So we just hit level 68. We're leaving Outlands, and I thought this was a really epic screenshot, so I actually finished it up. You know, cutting a little bit of time here. We're at Undercity. We're jumping the blimp to Howling Fjord. Howling Fjord, I'm going to be going here from 68 to 70. From you know, 70 to 72, we're going to be doing Borean. From 72 to 74ish, we're going to be doing Dragonblight. From 74 to 76, we're going to be doing Grizzly Hills. From 76 to 78, we're going to be doing Sholazar Basin. And from 78 to 80, we're going to be doing Storm Peaks. Now, if you are in Northrend and are stuck, you can just go, you know, repeat what I just said if you're learning like what zones and where you should be going to at what particular level, because that is the bread and butter of Northrend. That's what I do on all of my characters. It works like a charm. It's the fastest route possible. You don't want to be stuck in Zul'Darak, guys. Zul'Darak is some of the worst quests in the actual game. And I'm sorry, Blizzard, it's a cool idea for a zone, but they're just so damn long and terrible. You don't want to be stuck in Zul'Darak. Icecrown is the same way. Icecrown is cool lore-wise, but for questing-wise, you're just doing long, drawn-out quests. Running in circles, it's just a waste of time. You're going to want to go to Storm Peaks for efficiency. But Howling Fjord, it's alright up until level 70. As soon as I ding, I tend to leave, because the zone is actually not as good as Borean Tundra. It's really user choice. I like to share this with you guys. I actually got a rare BOE item, which was awesome. I got that from a random chest that Blizzard put throughout the game now. If you guys noticed, back whenever you were actually in Wrath of Lich King, did you guys notice that there was rarely any chests? But I guess Blizzard changed that, because those are some of the chests you can get from 1 to 60 as well. Very cool looking, and I like their idea of chests not just containing regular items, but almost always containing a blue, which is very awesome. It's always exciting to get something really rare whenever you're doing a quest, especially if you're a new player. You're always going to want to be searching through the best stuff possible. But yeah, it's pretty awesome to find stuff like that. And this series so far is nothing short of amazing when it comes to finding epic loot, like finding the shield, the epic shield. We found more than 10 blues so far, selling them on the auction house for some extra gold. So in that aspect, this series is a major success. So there we go, we just hit level 69. Now if you're speccing your talent tree correctly, that means you're going to be able to get your final talent. For Demonology Warlocks, you get the Metamorphosis. You turn into something that looks like Illidan, which is very cool. For Destruction, you get Chaos Bolt, which is an extremely high damaging ability that you can use with Backlash. That's the most important thing. You can use that opening up your Backlash proc, which increases its damage and reduces its cast time. And for Affliction, you have Haunt. You know, it sends a bolt of death at the enemy, and it increases your damage over time abilities by 20% for 12 seconds, and it also heals you whenever the target dies for 100% of the damage done while Haunt was on the enemy. So hypothetically, if you do 10k damage whenever that NPC dies, it's going to heal you for 10k. So it's a really awesome ability, and right now I've been jumping through each spec all the time. I like Demonology, I like Affliction, and I like Destruction. There's Nemec, one of the guys in the Minecraft series. He found Gondria and named him Deadlyslob. It was actually his second Gondria. His first one's named Gonorrhea, which is actually kind of funny because it just sounds, Gondria just sounds like some weird STD. But nonetheless, very cool Nemec. We'll see you on the Minecraft Survival series. If you guys haven't already checked that out, I believe that it's on my personal channel. I already said that a couple minutes ago, so I'm going to stop talking about that now. But we are queued up for a dungeon, and today we are actually going to be getting Utgard Keep. Utgard Keep is a very quick and easy instance, but very overdone. Blizzard, give us some Nexus when we're leveling from 68 to 70. Oh my god, I think I've done this instance at least 10 times. Unbelievable. I'm gonna paint my favorite blood. That's what he says every single time. Sounds like a giant chicken. Very easy guy to kill. Whenever he gets killed the first time, you just go around one of those pillars. I don't even think it's even necessary anymore because of the amount of health everybody has. But as soon as he gets resurrected, he does some massive AoE damage. And if you're not behind a pillar, it'll hit you right there. But it did hit someone, and you can just see that it only took about one tick away from their health. It really didn't matter. But nonetheless, a little bit less heals that the healer needs to do, because it's so hard to do some heals at low level anyway. But there we go, level 70 in Howling Fjord. Man, I can't believe we're already 70. But just a little, disclaimer, if you haven't checked the live stream, we're probably going to be level 80 already. Okay, so we're getting close, so make sure you start tuning into the live stream before that 85 ding. We usually get a level a day, so going from that in about 6 days or so should be level 85 ding. So make sure you start tuning into the live stream. I know it's a little bit early, but just whenever you're checking your emails in the morning, whenever you first wake up, check justin.tv/Deadlyslob, and I will be online. I answer all my questions. I try to, be as user interactive as I possibly can. If you answer a question or ask a question that's relevant on my live stream, I will get back to you. I have 2 screens. It's not an issue. I look at one, and whenever I want to read some questions, I just look at the other one and answer them. It's just that simple. Thank you guys for tuning in. My name is Deadlyslob. Next video we'll be hitting level 75. Make sure you hit that like button, comment, and if you made it this far, again, tell me what is the most amazing feat in World of Warcraft that you ever achieved. And I'll see you guys next video.